Welcome back real quick. We just need only 5 minutes to change our clothes. And the role has been set. As you can see, well, we have new king. Hail King.
Queen.
King Queen.
Oh,
King of Queens.
Queen,
Have you guessed
okay.
that show?
No. I am the Lord of Salt.
PPD? Peter?
I will contest that.
Yeah, at least better than King Jetlag.
And
Uh,
then we have.
Okay, so what do we have at the caster desk? We have a.
I'm a Captain
Darth
Tsunami.
Sidious.
You're what?
Darth
Sidious.
Sidious.
You know,
I don't know. What
you know,
that
speaking of captains,
Mm.
you know, I would definitely let you captain my ship, and you know, if we were pirates and something like that, we would be plundering a lot of booty together.
You got
But,
And
right, we
you
would
know where you could plunder some booty
be. Let's hear it.
is in Lords Mobile, which is a MMO
Is it plundering
RTS.
or is it pillaging?
Plundering, pillaging,
Oh
get
my
a lot
Whatever
of
you
booty.
wanna
I
call
can do
it.
both.
You could absolutely do both, but you'll do better if you use the promo code, not BSJ, King's Cup,
King's Cup.
and get $100 in free items.
King's Cup, all one word.
Yes, King's Cup.
Now tell
one
me,
word.
what if I didn't have an iPhone X to play it on?
Well, you might actually win an iPhone X from
Word?
entering in from entering in King's Cup in Lords Mobile.
Nice one. Well,
Thank you, Xyclopzz.
says the guy speaking from a garbage bag.
Speaking of speaking,
Eat.
I can hear Xyclopzz through the garbage bag because of the quality of my Sennheiser headset. Which, by the
that's
way,
it.
there's a Dota 2 edition, the official audio partner of BTS, and you can
And-
you can get the new you can. Let's go ahead and read this real quick. Click the banner below to enter to win the GSP 600 Dota 2 edition and Sennheiser GSX 1000.
awesome.
That's a lot of numbers. Basically, you can get a really nice Dota 2 headset. They're real comfortable, actually.
I
They're
gotta
pretty good.
charge my.
Let me tell you, I went to my hairdresser at one point. Actually, I have a specific hairdresser that I've
And
gone
you're
to.
like,
You
give
mean-
me the
wait,
most
okay,
anime
wait.
hairstyle possible.
That's what I was
Right,
gonna
right.
say. He
All right,
looks
I'm-
like an anime character.
I'm anime wizard, by the way, just in case y'all were wondering.
Oh, so they all wear like
Is there an
these
anime
cow
about
slippers.
there's an anime about witches. I don't know if there's one about wizards.
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
there
pretty
is.
sure there's a lot of anime.
Anyway, let me
Oh,
finish.
wow.
Let me finish my story. The wizard needs to.
Yeah, Crunchyroll's not sponsoring this, so.
Right. Okay, so I went to my wizard or my hairdresser, and she said you're losing your hair right in the middle in a ring, you know. And then I was like, how is that possible? I was like 15, 16 at the time. It was my headset.
It's your
My headset was making me friggin' lose hair.
Well, did you have a Sennheiser though?
It-
I didn't have a Sennheiser. The thing with the Sennheiser
Wait.
is that they're actually there's two,
That makes
like they fit
oh,
to your head.
actuating.
okay, you
Yeah,
mean like that little like
And
It's
with,
not
with
a
that kind of
circle.
Sennheiser, it's just gonna make you look like a kappa.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you mean your hair will only grow in the middle?
okay
And the
guys,
rest is-
just so
No,
you know,
this
we
is
have a game.
legitimate advertising for Sennheiser. These things, like, you're not going to lose your
Guys,
hair.
we
You'll
have a
lose your
game.
hair with anything else.
We have a game.
I know, I had to get the
You children.
things out of the way.
Yes, we have a game. And we're actually halfway through the draft as well.
Well,
Oh,
Queen,
that was-
Queen, King. What would you like to talk
Queen.
about?
I'm a queen.
Queen Callahan.
Or what's it? A keen?
I'm pretty.
We
keen
have
right
a
now.
game.
Keen Callahan.
Keen Callahan.
Oh, and that's it.
Oh,
there it is!
Yes.
You're in the game, Cyclops.
My favorite Spectre.
Cyclops,
It's here.
I noticed earlier today when I was looking over your shoulder in one of your pubs, you went 2-1-3 on Spectre.
213. What is that?
You went
Your
like,
score.
That's what he's wondering. What is that?
He maxed out his dispersion on Spectre.
Oh,
his
dispersion.
skills. Not
Is that the new build?
It's not a new build. It's just that the lane is getting very hard.
How'd you
and,
feel?
and I need to be like more tanky.
How'd you feel
for
about
that
the
one.
Desolate nerfs?
Did you win that game?
Of course, no. Yeah. It
Clearly,
was
that
like,
wasn't the build.
but it's not only a build. It's like there's so many factors to win in the North America. You know. I just want to say about the difference between the Southeast Asia and North America.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you going in NA game. It's more like a 50-50 chance. If you're lucky, you're gonna win the game very easy. But well, otherwise you're gonna lose the game pretty easy as well. So which is I don't like, because in Southeast Asia game, well maybe I lose a lot, but
Well, you definitely do.
it's quite intense match before I lose. So
At least people try, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't just forfeit the game and.
I don't
want
to say straight like
sit
that,
and
but
base.
yeah.
No, you're very right.
It's
you
been
learn.
okay.
You learn fast.
What are you looking at me? I don't do that.
And a scrub.
I'm perfectly well behaved.
Yeah.
Not when I was sitting next to you while you were playing your game.
I was getting hype.
You were just a piece of
What the hell? How are they on Australian servers?
Oh, I never play in Australian servers.
Okay, well there you go. Maybe if you played pubs, you'd know.
No,
That's exactly no one plays on those servers.
Honestly, I think C servers are a dream. I love playing on C servers.
That's a hot take.
I think the power ranking is China, EU, C, NA.
China is like overwhelming.
Yeah.
They're way too good.
Dude, it sounds amazing. I love random draft.
Look,
and
I'm
apparently
pretty
China
sure-
is a random draft only server.
Yeah.
No, I'm
They
pretty
don't-
sure
yeah.
like China doesn't seem that bad until you understand the language, and they're probably talking about you. in
Dude, that's
chat.
okay. As long as
they
they
hate
play
it.
fine.
They hate it when you speak English.
I don't
there.
need to talk to
Really?
anyone.
Oh, they hate it. Yeah. You get
Oh.
shit for that.
I don't
Wow.
say nothing. All I need is people to play.
You go in and don't say anything. You just use the chat wheel.
Exactly.
Even then, I mean, you see pros go there and they just lose every single game, which that makes a lot. They try very hard. Everybody tries very very hard until
Well,
until the
Lotac
bitter end.
lose every single game, though. They've got an Ursa up against this Spectre. Seems like a very intentional pick just to make Spectre's life unpleasant.
We talked about this recently,
We
though.
did.
Like this Ursa, the fact that the Fury swipes only last for 8 seconds now at level 1, that is not long at all. Like the way that this hero lanes against Spectre is that you hit her twice, she has to leave the lane for 20 seconds, otherwise she's going to die to you. Or take way too much harass and then have to use regen, and then she'll die to you eventually. So you get last hits. But now with this 8 seconds, you can just take a couple hits, walk away, take a couple hits, walk away, no punish whatsoever. So maybe it's not that much of a counter anymore.
I guess it also depends on like how they want to play it. You know, if you play it hyper aggressive, you're still gonna be within like that 8-second thing.
It actually depends on how what is the body of that Ursa too. You know, if you have a great setup.
It's either Nyx or Bane. I mean, Bane.
No, I mean it should be Bane to just
thing
to
is, though, I
scare
don't-
him out.
I don't even know if you want to play hyper aggressive because then like you only have a certain amount of mana, right? So like
And you're up against an Undying.
yeah, that's that as well. Like that hero is very very good for dealing with
Fun.
aggression in the lane. Yeah,
Fun.
haven't seen this
Oh,
one
God.
before. It's you know, you kill the Spectre and it's like she comes back and then you have no mana to kill the Spectre again and then she just farms. Like at a certain point she'll farm. It's either between the deaths or after a bunch of deaths, you know? In either case she's going to farm. I'm not 100% sure how the math works with the new 8 seconds, but I have a good feeling that Ursa's not anywhere near as strong as he once was against Spectre. Like to the point where it's not even a good pick anymore. We'll see though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just overreacting to the nerfs.
Who knows? Maybe they just get a fantastic laning stage. You
Yeah.
know?
All right, so we are down to the last pick of Team Lotac. It seems like they still
They banned Tsunami, unfortunately.
last pick gonna be Leshrac
Leshrac
as the
again?
carry.
I'm still not a big fan of this Leshrac. Although,
It's good with the Bane.
laning stage, it's not too bad because you're up against a Spectre.
Dude, I just hope they don't do that Nyx Leshrac lane like they did last time, because that
So-
lane did not work.
So this is, so they're probably gonna try to do the Leshrac versus the Necro because it's
Yeah.
magical damage. I think with the Bane that'd be pretty sweet. Although
So
then you have
then
an
Nyx,
Nyx, which is
Oh,
And it's
nice. Good
lots.
old combo, Spectre and Zeus here.
oh my god,
That
that's
global presence is scary.
it's such a ridiculous combo. With the Necrophos too, like there's almost no way to win late game against this EVOS Esports.
I mean,
team.
Leshrac is squishy. He'll be easy to kill off.
Right, he died.
Lina is also very fragile.
Yep.
Your Bane, not too bad. I mean, Ursa should be able to survive the brunt of the damage.
But then
Nyx-
once the ulti's gone, he
Yeah.
kind of dies too.
Yep.
I think if the game goes late, EVOS just completely wipes the floor with them.
And
Just
there isn't,
giving their heroes.
outside of Leshrac, there isn't that much push on Lotac either. Like, Nyx and Bane can't push at all.
Yeah.
So you get like a Meteor Hammer, which is unlikely. Ursa's not a fantastic pusher. Lina's really your only wave clear even. So ending fast is a tall order for Lotac's squad.
It
So-
just means they have to keep Ohio alive if they want to push.
Yeah.
Lotac is basically looking to snowball out of the lanes, and then at the very least take a position on the map where they can restrict the farm. Otherwise, they're just going to lose the late game.
Yep, shutting down Spectre it's actually not an answer to win this game for Lotac. They just
Yeah.
have to take a look at the overall picture and trying to achieve all the object, especially all the tier 1's tower. Because as a Spectre, if you lose tier 1's too fast, man, it's really hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put us into the game.
Okay.
I need to
should.
combine powers with my captain. Captain. My captain.
I want to do it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was too powerful.
It's getting
That
closer.
was too powerful.
And we
It's
got
getting closer.
Arizona dressing up as well, getting into the
That is
the theme.
ominous.
It's all good. Hey, we're in the game now.
We've been calling him Big J. That's actually only I've been calling him that. But it's kind of catching on. You know, people around the studio, they think I'm really cool. They really like
Giving me
things that I
high
say.
fives all the time.
Yeah, dude, I'm walking around. and thumbs
Finger
up.
guns.
I'm getting finger guns all the
Finger
time. Yeah.
All right. Let's do some quick intro, shall we? Thank you very much. I've been craving for that. Okay. Start it from you, Captain Kunka.
We got Yamete playing the Bane.
Ohio, London Shark.
We have EU playing on the Nyx Assassin.
We have Raven on the Ursa.
Trian on the Lena.
And Evil on Necrophos.
We have Whitemon on our Undying.
VL Akiu on the.
I was
Rubik.
wondering, how could you possibly mispronounce this?
It's
'Cause none
Vlaiku.
of us even know how to do it.
It's either Vlaiku or if this
Vlaisu.
is...
I mean,
No, it's either Vlaiku, Vlaisu, or Vlaichu.
it's freedom
Because
of
in
freedom of
Asian
speech
countries,
here, you
C
know,
is normally a ch.
Illogic on the Spectre.
And Facehugger on Zeus.
Man, if Facehugger played Spectre, it would make so much sense.
I was gonna, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Hugs everybody's faces.
All right.
Ooh, look at those spins. Those are some high skill spins. You can usually tell. Ooh, the Undying's doing the spins too. Okay.
Does he have the taunt though? Because the spins are
You need
useless
the
if you don't
taunt
have the
while
taunt.
doing the
Yeah,
spin,
yeah.
right.
Have you? What I love doing is the spin on Lifestealer when he has a taunt, because his taunt already makes him move in a circle, so you're just like helicoptering
Dude,
on the ground.
Let me tell you some actual pay-to-win stuff you can do with the taunt. The Undying taunt, he turns around.
yeah,
The
you can't
pu-
see where he's facing.
The Pudge taunt, he turns around. You can bait people by taunting, and then
Ah.
when he turns around, you throw the hook in the opposite direction.
It's pretty sick.
Okay, I have my first decree.
Let's hear it.
All right, Tsunami, I want you to cast in a Kunka impersonation.
Okay. Well, now we've got the bottom lane of Vil and Vlaiku versus the Raven. And he's taking quite a bit of damage. It's the impale onto him, and Fury swipes on top of it. He's trying to get away, but I don't think it will happen.
Cyclops, you can still cast. I mean, you don't, you don't
I
disappear.
was kind of.
Okay, you know what? You love
Cyclops
Spectre.
just gets-
You love Spectre. You gotta
No
Talk
way that I
backwards.
can't do that.
Say
one.
everything backwards.
Okay, what's your second favorite hero?
Pick one that.
Phantom Lancer.
You gotta cast like Phantom Lancer.
And it's just normal, you know. My voice already like a Phantom
Oh,
Lancer.
yeah.
I even look like him. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Instead, you get something different. Every single time there is a Spectre haunt, you have to tell us something about yourself that we don't know.
Cool.
Oh
That
my-
the guy?
No,
He's
you.
doing the
to
Kunka
us.
impersonation all game.
Okay.
Well, we already know the lactose intolerant and the farts. How much?
We're gonna learn.
how much
Light
deeper-
strike array on the middle lane, but Facehugger will get away.
Oh god, I feel pity on him. Really.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
More impales on the bottom lane, and Avil is continuing to take Fury Swipe damage. Ghost Stroud will keep him alive for a little bit longer, as well as the salve, but the swipes keep stacking up.
Oh.
One more, perhaps? Yet another? But the telekinesis will stop any more further aggression. Raven switches his target, eats a fairy fire, but it may not be enough. No kills done yet as AU attempting to finish off Avil, but will be unsuccessful.
God.
I just forgot what I was about to say. Really.
I think my only contribution to this game is gonna be laughing into the microphone. I can't handle this.
You could take the microphone off, actually.
I honestly couldn't.
No, you just flip the mic up.
See you guys.
I just like the lane, just like Jenkins mentioned about at first. I thought it's going to be a Rubik and Spectre, but yeah, Whitemon doing very good against all the aggression lineup.
I don't remember saying that.
All quiet still on the middle lane. Doesn't seem like any team has really given that much of an influence to it. There was a slight rotation on Chuan, but he survives. And instead on the top lane, down goes the Undying. What ho.
When you play against Yamate, especially when he's on Bane, Yamate, you have to know that the specialty of him is he jukes so good. He has been known for his juking in Southeast Asia, and that means if you play, maybe that's the reason why he switched his role into a support, because when he plays support, he controls this small area beside the lane so good. If you just make a mistake, you get just set up by the Nightmare. Ohio comes in with a split turret, and then yeah, that's it.
Juking is an underrated skill in Dota, actually. There's so many games where it turns something that should have been bad, and it just turns out to be good. And like sometimes the whole game rides on a specific lane doing well, and then you just juke, and then you lose the lane.
Unless it's Spectre and Zeus, you're not running away.
Yeah, unless you have just infinity vision.
Or a Bloodseeker. Curse that thirst vision.
Actually counters Kunkka so hard.
Exactly.
To be totally
Believe me, I have X'd myself into death many a time.
That's a combo.
2-0 right now.
Cyclops, what happened?
What?
You were like
More
so
Fury
good
Swipe
earlier.
damage, but the telekinesis will drag back the Ursa.
I was scared that the captain will come out in the middle of the sentence, so I just want to wait for him first.
I wait for my moment. I don't just cast spells all willy-nilly.
Okay. That's pretty good. But I kind of surprised on the bottom lane that Raven having a hard time against his... Oh, seems to be a wrap.
Impale onto 2, into the Earthshock and the Fury Swipes. No Ghost Shroud to worry about on a Rubik, so they target him first. A little bit of a heal coming from the Necrophos, but now the Ghost Shroud's slow. Facehugger has come to do godly things onto this Nyx Assassin. And down he goes, but the Raven carry survives.
I'll make it a bit easier for you, Tsunami. You can talk normally between like play-by-play, but the play-by-play has to be Kunkka.
So you...
It's not, I meant like originally...
You guys are struggling with the banter, and you think that, yeah, okay.
No, I feel bad for you because I feel like you want to say
Okay.
stuff. So
I don't need to say anything.
We need you to bail us out.
I'd see that.
I mean, we have an analyst. He's not saying anything.
he's like just muted. He got reported.
You're
Fury swipes onto the Necrophos, but he continues to thwart these plans with his Earthshock. That's my job, Cyclops. You can join in after this, after he dies, with the another Earthshock. And White One rotates, but he only has 2 points in Soul Rip.
Yep.
I love how that's
Good
contribution.
analysis.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Really, yeah, it's really some kind of awkward moment.
I'm expecting some. I'm expecting more like affection from my wizard.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
The king makes the call.
Oh, yeah.
Middle lane, Chuan manages to pick off the Zeus.
Just go uninstall, you piece of shit. LeagueofLegends.com/sign.
What website?
that was KBBQ.
Okay,
What's that? Oh, the one that we just played?
Young
oh,
Jack.
sorry.
Young Jack, the Dota manager. He's a Dota manager, by the way.
Yeah, man, forward gaming.
Yeah.
Rotation in by Lina, looking for a light strike array, but Whitemon is on the right side of the trees, still goes with the cast, but the quick, fancy footwork, unfortunately, it only drags you closer to death. He will get a 3-man decay, but even all the strength in the world couldn't save him. Again, Rubik dying in the top lane, Laguna Blade onto the Necrophos, and Tron with an incredibly successful rotation. Didn't even need a ghost ship like I would.
This kind of thing happens all the time when you're having a Zeus in your team is when when
Split Earth into the Nightmare, into the top lane, into the Brain Sap, but it won't be enough. In fact, Illogic looking to turn it around. There's no more damage, and he spends his one charge as he's perfectly fine.
Yeah, when he under level in the middle lane, that gives a chance for the opponent mid laner to just roam around. And I'm pretty sure that we will see Shiyuan going left and right more because he kind of out level of this facehugger.
Surprisingly, didn't rotate to the Spectre lane. He went instead to the bottom lane. I mean, it worked out. He got 2 kills, but being able to kill Spectre earlier.
It's good to have you back.
Oh man, it's good to be back, Cyclops. It's good to be back.
Alright, 8-1 seems good right now for Lotac. Have a great
Raven
start.
has enraged if he wants to proceed further.
Damn, he's going nuts.
I mean, he's got free farm. What can they do it with him?
Yeah,
You know? It's level 6.
It's actually very rare to have an Ursa this farmed at 8 minutes. This hero's not all that good at laning.
And they didn't even opt to put him in the Spectre lane.
Yeah.
They were like, whatever, the Fury Swipe nerfs. Though he's putting more points in Fury Swipes. I was wondering if this changes the skill build for Ursa. If he decides to put more points.
I honestly kind of felt like this build.
I love Fury Swipe Max.
I really like it too. It's a lot of damage, and it's more just like letting your team disable for you instead.
Yeah.
And I think when you have a Bane, Leshrac, Nyx, Lina, like literally 4 heroes that can set up for you.
Oh, nice fighting.
What's the point in getting the Earthshock, you know, outside of laning?
It allows you to farm faster, because sometimes when you max Earthshock, you're like, I don't want to spend all my mana on Fury Swipes because I put all these points into my nuke/slow. But now you feel pretty confident just getting more attack speed with Fury Swipes.
Yeah.
One thing that I kind of worry about Team EVOS is when you have a Spectre, you will, when the game is so far behind, the only way you can come back is to hunt down and get a last hit. But if you take a look at the EVOS hero, you see that that's no good setup at all. They kind of lack of the early game team fight heroes, and
It's
the
kind of
fact
just
that
undying for fighting.
And she can't even take last hits because Necro wants all the
Necro and
last
Zeus
hits.
wants last hits as well. The XP talent.
well, Spectres have to high all the game and farm, I guess. Until Team Lotac is grouping up and try to take the tower. That's when Spectre will shine.
Yeah.
A lot of movement on the bottom lane by the Dire team. Raven playing defensive. But it doesn't look like they're ready to commit. Instead, Ohio gets the kill on the top lane. Compliments of a Chuan rotation, and Laguna Blade didn't even need to be spent.
Yeah, the more games go, the more I feel that this lineup is not suit well with the Spectre.
It's definitely really greedy.
The pick Spectre, what, 4th or 3rd?
Although I don't like this.
They're beginning to invade into the bottom tier 1. Raven is spotted out with a lightning bolt, but yet again, no one wants to go face first into this big, hairy bear.
What he's doing down here on the bear is similar to what supports look to do, just like baiting into the trees.
More movement. They want to defend this tower. They've already claimed the tier 1 tower top as Ohio's whittling it down with Diabolic Edict. And now AU underneath the Vendetta. Preemptive carapace just in case. But they're targeting the Lina. Instantly killed. And a scythe on top of the Nyx assassin. Where did the Spectre come from? She's going for more. The telekinesis onto Raven. He activates the enrage. He wants to kill someone. Flytsu is just toying with him. Instead of trying to put Fury Swipes onto a Spectre, he wants to get the kill, but it won't happen, as Spectre will get the last hit.
They lost. They actually lost.
It's just like
Stolen Impale connects onto the Bane, and yet another kill perhaps going to the Spectre as Facehugger takes down a tower mid.
Cyclops!
This is just like what I mentioned just now that what?
The decree.
The decree, we just had a haunt.
I was gonna ask, what are the
What?
odds that he forgets?
Okay, what do you want to know?
You gotta tell us something about you that no one knows.
What's your mother's maiden name?
No, that's no.
You just gave away all of his security questions.
And
No.
your bank pin.
Well, I lost a dog when I was like 12.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like he's died or something.
You lost him.
It's even worse because he disappeared. And every time that I see like that kind of same dog, that same color.
What breed was it? Or was it like a mutt?
It was a Thai stray dog.
Oh, okay.
I
mean,
always think of it.
that's like a very common story that parents tell their kids, so
That's
they don't have
true.
to deal with death.
Was he ever sick and then he just
your dog
disappeared
is
one day?
legitimately probably dead.
I mean, by now, he was at 12.
That's kind of
It was probably dead back then.
That's horrible. He
I'm just
lost
saying,
a dog
like,
when he was 12.
saying,
and
like,
he just,
realistically.
told him.
And then not only that, your parents also lied to you, so.
Come on, if that Spectre just go for refresher or get refresher orb,
Dude,
I got nothing to hide.
I'm so tempted to say if Zeus ults as well, that also counts because it's global. But I'll hold it back first.
Yeah.
I like that. Any global abilities, and you have to.
Any
It reveals everything on the map. So
exactly.
It reveals
They're going to
information
reveal
about
everything
yourself.
about Cyclops.
Right.
Yeah.
Nyx assassin underneath a Vendetta spots out 3 heroes, but they don't want to engage. They're just going to retreat.
There's actually no way that Lotac wins this game in the late game.
I am so worried for Lotac because they lost that bottom fight.
Yeah,
They're
that
just
bottom fight
Is
was
Spectre AFK?
crucial.
Oh no, he's just chilling.
I mean,
he's pretending to be an illusion.
I kind of wonder why Lotac were just not just staying safe and spread down and controlling the lanes instead of grouping up and giving a chance for the Spectre to group up with Hunt down and go get some chance to kill a lot hit.
Oh, they're gonna sneak.
He didn't get the Vendetta damage. It timed out. So instead, they will just retreat. But Facehugger is invisible, out nixing the Nyx into the Scythe. No Thunder God's Wrath before the Scythe connects, so AU will survive. The Scythe does not do enough damage. And now Ohio looking to turn it around. Fiend's Grip onto the Zeus. They want to take it. Tombstone is killed. Lina gets the kill on the Zeus. And now a Yule Scepter onto the Spectre to stall her out, but Raven is angry. Fury swipes down the Rubik, activates Enrage to retreat. And now half the team wants to fight, but Raven wants to leave. Nightmare comes out into the Light Strike array. Laguna Blade on top of the Impale, and down will go that high strength Undying.
I am not sure, is it because of the cooldown or why, what are that Spectre waiting for until his Honda, because I feel like the Honda was quite slow. He could have just create chaos and scare Lotac away instead of letting them go into a full force against his teammates. He could have protected them.
Stop being scared of the challenge. We had a Haunt.
The Haunt, oh my god. What you want to know now? I'm running out of things to say.
What was the most embarrassing thing that happened to you?
You said one thing. Running out of things.
The most
Vendetta
embarrassing.
into an Impale. Yamate does not have Fiend's Grip. Instead, they're going to Nightmare to stall, get some right clicks in. Ohio comes in with the Split Earth. And a Brain Sap to take the kill. Yamate says, no, Ohio, that is mine.
Okay.
I have to do the analytics too, you know?
You don't have to. I'll cover it
Answer the question
afterwards.
first.
Alright.
Answer the question.
Most embarrassing
Yes.
is the I used to have a crush with a girl. We were in the same condo, and
You lived with her?
and I was like I was waiting for a chance to talk to her like one-on-one, you know, for a long time, and then one day God just gave me a chance. I went into the same elevator with her, so I go in. We live in pretty high rise, you know, so I have to go so many stairs. And then I just want to fart, man. Yeah, so I'm making it. So I was thinking, am I just gonna go silently, but it will be a nasty smell, or I'm just I can't hold it anymore. I don't have that much time, so I choose the painful way for her. You know, I take the blame on myself, so I go it loud. So that's not much smell, isn't it?
I don't think that's how it works.
That's not thing that I could say with her anymore. On that one.
How did she react? Did she react at all? Or were you?
Well, she was like, she turned her face away.
Is this a real story? Did you make this up?
Yeah, I make this up.
Okay.
That means you have to really answer the
Yeah.
question. Cyclops.
What?
Stop hiding from your responsibilities.
What?
You said you made up the thing. You're going to do a real one.
Yeah, I said I make up.
I don't think you
It's
understand.
a real thing. It's real.
He's doubling
Sorry.
back on it.
Alright, what do we got here? Too many stories.
You know Haunt is on cooldown, right? Like, it's off cooldown. Get ready, Cyclops.
But I have to analyze the game. I'm an analyst.
You can analyze your life. That's better.
No
I think.
way. My life boring.
Dota's a microcosm of life, man. If you understand one, you understand the other. Helps your Dota analysis to figure out yourself.
There was a post on Reddit a while ago that was like, playing Dota has made me a better driver. And I read it and I was like, dude, this is so accurate.
How?
Because, like, you know, in Dota, you're constantly looking at your minimap, and as a driver, like, you gotta check your side view mirrors a lot, but some people just don't do that. They just change lanes all randomly, much as how in Dota people just change lanes all randomly, but you just gotta operate on the assumption that everyone's an idiot.
You know, my previous team's coach, he would always say Dota is like art, like doing like classical art, like painting, because like you learn all of these different tools that you can use, but when you paint, you just kind of flow, right? You just kind of paint. And in Dota, it's like you teach yourself these things by actually looking at replays and like, okay, I want to fix this. But then eventually you just do it, and it's like you're just doing the same thing every time. You just get in a game, you play. There's no thought that goes into it. It's all instinct, but you can still build it, you know? Just like art. You can become a great artist, but really when it comes down to you're drawing on that canvas, you're just feeling it.
Good job, man, Spectre. Oh, man, I thought he got no mana just
He's
now.
got mana
And
now.
now you go back to the fountain, getting ready for the next team fight.
Oh, and it's coming.
Oh my
Smoke
god.
up on the Dire team. They have Thunder God's Wrath available for vision, but they will decide to just cut their losses and defend their mid-tier 2.
Alright, waiting for that next one to come out.
Sometimes the flow concept can work against you, though. Like, sometimes you're just, like, so in the zone that you don't... You're so used to your habits that it's hard to think outside them. You're like, I've done this for 1,000 games, but sometimes
That's true.
the 1,000th game shouldn't be that way.
There's a balance. I mean, doesn't that just mean your instinct should be better, though? Like, your instinct should be, you know, actively
Yeah, but
thinking?
you can't be too reliant on instinct, I guess, is my point. You need to be able to, like, step outside and be like, maybe I need to step outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, I think you need to decide, like, preemptively, like, what's going to be instinct, what you're going to think about. Like, think about rush timers, think about spell cooldowns and stuff like that.
That's why I think, like, a lot of the best players are Rubik players, because as a Rubik player, like, every single game is different. You got to be like, this is my highest priority spell. I got to think about this, and then if I can't get that spell, then this is my next spell. And then as the game gets later, you need to move your resources around.
Making decisions is a quite crucial thing in the Dota 2.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the big things that differentiates Tier 1 and Tier 2 players is the ability to, like, take a draft and then an enemy draft and then do something differently and not just going the same build every time.
Right.
And different playstyle, too. Different team fight focus. Like on Tiny, all the time you want to blink in, kill one person. But maybe it's actually a sort of game where you need to go in first and tank spells and bait.
Yeah.
You know, there's all of these different ways that you can play. Dude, this is getting deep.
Yeah.
This is all from the fart story, man.
Really?
Humble origins.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
God damn, how this has progressed. It's been wild.
Well, seems like, well, if you see that Hoop Defiance on Spectre, well, with this.
He'll still have mana. Calm down.
Definitely a good hood. Although I hear people say, like, oh, you should never go hood on Spectre.
No way.
That's
Ever since I saw the PL hood build start take power, I was like, dude, there's a lot to be said for building hood on these hard carries.
This item is just so damn good.
The HP regen is insane. Like, you never are worried when you're farming the jungle, like, might not have the HP to haunt in, you know, if I keep farming here and I take too much damage, then I'm going to come into the fight like half HP.
The fact that it scales with strength, too, is ridiculous. Like, look at his regen.
Yeah.
What is it, 15 right now? I can't see because Big
16.9.
16. Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
He now has like 46% magical resist.
Yeah, the magic resist is insane too. I mean, ever since they changed regen to scale with strength, regen items have been broken.
And freaking Spectre's highest gains are on her strength. Even though she's an agi hero, she gains the most strength per level.
That's so cancer.
I know.
You have to get through so much HP to kill her.
That's why, like, Blade Mail was very popular for a while, and I saw the value in it, and then Vanguard also became popular, but you don't really see Hood that frequently. But like you said, this game, it's super value.
I've seen, like, a Spectre always auto Vanguard.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. It gives you raw HP benefits from the...
It was a very good game sense from Nixon scene that he didn't go on the high ground here and trying to go in and do some scout because that was... he has been spotted by Team EVOS. If he goes in, easy kill.
Oh yeah, let's do a count on Sentry Wards. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
My
7,
God.
8, 9, 10. There are 10 Sentry Wards on the map for Radiant right now. And there's 1 for Dire.
Dude, I'm
right
going to
now.
flame my 5 rolls in pubs if they're not buying like 50 Sentry Wards.
I think this is an SEA thing.
And I'm going to flame them
Are you sure
regardless,
this might not just be everyone like looking at Clutch? Unless maybe Lotac started.
Telekinesis onto the Nyx Assassin, into the Scythe, but there's not enough damage. He managed to get the Carapace off. The stun Necrophos will die down to the Ursa, and a BKB activated by Chuan. He wants more. They don't see the Tombstone, however. The zombies will continue stacking up, but it doesn't matter when you're killing everyone. Split Earth ends just the edge
Perfect
of Undying's
timing and
life.
the positioning coming out from that Yamate. I have been looking at the team fight like so many times already. In this game, since the fight on top lane that he stays in the side forest, until now, his positioning was able to help anyone that is going to get the River Scythe. also
Yes.
comes in soon enough.
Carapace into the stun on the middle lane. A bash by Ursa. Down will go the Spectre before she can activate a Haunt, unfortunately.
Wow, that's
That's another sorry
a
save.
huge kill.
Still his buyback.
Damn, they've
Just don't do
kind
it.
of turned this around. It was looking kind of rough with that bottom fight. I thought that EVOS was just going to get the momentum, but
Nah,
they,
not.
they took it
Lena
back.
picked up a whole bunch of items in like no time at all. She got a Yules and BKB before another fight broke out.
That's good because they do not have
Hey.
superior late game.
Yeah.
Not even close. If that, I think if that Reaper sight had gone off, that would definitely be a completely different fight.
I think they would have actually gone into their like haunted and everything, but
For sure, for sure. The Bane Nightmare plus the Carapace timing, like they were just on point. The sight did nothing. They have the burst to bring somebody down with Scythe too, with the Zeus.
Coming in quite blind for EVOS, playing super risky here. And yep, seems like they're just gonna take control. So many sentries down there on Lotac.
My God.
Yeah, they're up to 11 now.
hey, they can afford it. Let's be real.
They have the Nyx on their team too.
I know.
Like, it's literally just for wards. I mean, if people are winning with it though, it just means it's good.
the strat.
Yeah, that's the crazy
Maybe the
thing.
play is you drop your net worth down so low that even if your carry dies, it's not that big of a deal. 'Cause
Right.
Your team
I'm,
net worth is
I'm
lower.
just sitting here. I'm thinking about like the math on it. It's like, if you can guarantee, like absolutely guarantee that the enemy team has
No
literally
wards on the map.
no wards on the map, that sounds pretty OP,
Yeah, so
doesn't
if there was an item that cost 1,100 gold that could remove all vision on the map.
No. The thing is though, there's like risk associated with that.
Yeah.
With this, it's like it's costing your 5 roll, but I mean, there's more sentries. They're
The
just
weird thing is,
placing more.
it's not even played with like heroes who can get vision on cliffs, like Jakiro or something like that. Like none of these heroes on Lotac can see up cliffs. None of them can. So it's weird to me.
I mean, you know, blinks and stuff.
I guess I haven't seen Ursa blink onto a single cliff yet, though. But
It's like an, oh God, I'm flabbergasted that every team is doing this, but like there's obviously got to be some. They must be scrimming and seeing that this really works.
maybe.
Because they wouldn't just do it randomly, you know? Like these guys are beating people in scrims. He's just placing more sentries.
The one thing I think is that maybe the enemy support is like playing into their hand, and it's like, all right, well, if they counter this one, I'll place an observer ward somewhere else. I think you should just be like, all right, screw it. The enemy support is going to be super broke because they keep placing sentry wards everywhere. I'm just going to get a medallion or a glimmer cape or something.
It doesn't matter if the enemy support is broke. If their team is rich, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, but support items, like you've said time and time again, where are the force staffs? There have been such a lack of force staffs throughout this tournament so far. And
No,
I
I'm pretty
imagine it's
sure-
because supports are broke.
Pretty sure once teams realize that force staff is still a good item, they will still get it.
Yeah, but then you need to start placing less sentry wards.
While you were discussing, that's an Aegis Immortal on Red.
I think that was the second one, so
They have to go now because they are so far ahead. I think the reason that they are far ahead is because the EVOS kind of lack the hero that can go into a team fight with the massive dismal spells on that. So it's making quite hard for Spectre. Even though he already have a Radiance. You know, normally when I have a Radiance, when I play Spectre, I will call out, hey man, just do anything, start the fight. But in this case, it's kind of different. It's well, how are you gonna start the fight with? All I can see is maybe like Rubik Telekinesis or it's Undying turn on his Fletch Golem.
I'm honestly still kind of favoring EVOS. I know it's like a 15k gold lead, but
until a tier 3 goes down.
I mean, they can just defend.
Yeah.
Zeus Spectre is just so hard to push into unless the Ursa can blink on like the Zeus.
Freaking Zeus plus offensive null field makes it so difficult to clear through a creep wave.
That too. I always forget about the null field. That's actually a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
1,200 radius on it.
goddamn 22%. He's got like a veil, a permanent veil.
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah, look at that damage. Hell yeah.
And
But one thing that came with the playing defense is you giving a lot of space to Lotac and the network gap is getting bigger.
That's
and
true.
bigger.
It'll get bigger and bigger because they can't really leave the base. If
but
the
you only
Zeus gets
care
picked
about.
off,
I think you only care about the clock. Like at 40 minutes, it doesn't really matter how much space Lotac got. Your Spectre's still going to be big.
Yeah. They don't really have the heroes to... I mean, I guess I could pick up a Silver Edge on Lina and perhaps deal with the Spectre that way, but even then, you have a Zeus and a Necro. Like, all 3 of these heroes are ultra late game cores.
Yeah.
They want long team fights.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they want.
That's why high ground would be perfect for them to defend. Because it's so hard. Like, it takes at least 2 or 3 waves to get the tower on high ground, usually.
So I think for this game, we've had 2 haunts.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
That's unfortunate.
2 haunts.
Every time Lina uses her stun, you have to...
No way.
Every
Wait,
fiery
I'm
soul
running
stack
out
she
of
gets.
stories.
Technically,
All right, Cyclops,
Thunder,
let's go.
Thunder God's Wrath can count though.
What? No.
Thunder.
No.
Just make the
Just
the
Spectre
create.
alone, I already run out of stories.
No, it's we are going to ask you.
Two-
Yeah, unless you
Two
have
things about you.
questions.
There's nothing more unique about me other than those 2 things that I just mentioned.
What did you mention again?
He lost his dog.
Farting and then
Oh.
lost his dog.
Dude, there's more to being a
Cyclops
person
in
than
a
that.
nutshell.
You've loving parents, though. We did
All
learn
right.
that.
Let's see.
Loving
Looks
lions.
like this is trying to poke on the first time. Knocking on the Heaven's door.
Backdoor pretension has been disabled, so the Diabolic Edict can proceed to do some damage. And half the tower's HP is just consumed instantly. But no further commitment yet.
Wait, are you high?
No.
I'm high on ghost rum. I'm
Okay.
drunk on the rum.
Kuka does sound like he's drunk all the time, to be honest.
What ho!
Like a high functioning alcoholic. I mean, I think most pirates were in those days.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all getting like scurvy and stuff.
That's
I mean-
why they had like missing limbs.
Yeah, that's why his whole fleet died. He has a ghost ship.
No, you know
Because
That's
he was
true.
drunk. He was drunk driving.
He
the entire
drunk
time.
drove.
Telekinesis onto the last track, but Raven immediately jumps in. The scythe comes out, but the BKB's already been activated by Ohio. Split Earth to finish off the Necrophos, and this is the hell of an invasion. Fleen's grip onto the Spectre. She didn't even get to haunt in. All of the mana was burned, and it looks like the high ground siege is becoming to look like the 18k net worth.
That was definitely the power of items and levels and space that they get. Well, you can play defense, but you have to keep in mind that your Spectre will be in the base too.
One more Diabolic Edict will potentially finish off this tower. The Impale connects. That is a dieback on the Necrophos. He is dead for 70 seconds. Buyback on the Spectre. She wants to join this fight. She's haunting left and right. Aegis is reclaimed by Raven. Ohio waits patiently, but it looks like he's in vision, so the Spectral Dagger will connect. The Spectre wants to finish off Ohio. No more Desolate damage. He eats the cheese. Illogic didn't see that one coming, and he's going to die back as a result. Soul Rip is on cooldown, so he can't hit him, but Illogic actually gets out. The steal on the Nightmare. No more procedural, as the Spectral Dagger will connect onto Ohio, but he
That was
retreats.
so close. If they lose Spectre that one, then they return from good to bad already. Yeah, and I think it was about the team miscommunication between Lotac, because some of them still want to push more, and the rest just go back and farm already. And you can't push with only 2 guys. Try to high ground a team like EVOS.
Yeah, it was greedy. Leshek was like, I'm just going to use this Edict and finish
I
off
think
this team, right?
I think it was greedy, but they could have gotten punished so much more. With EVOS, like they had the Necro
They had to spend
get
cheese,
gone
though.
on twice. The Spectre died without using Haunt, you know, and they had to buy back. So, by the way, you have to say another fact about yourself. But with that being said, I think if EVOS just commits to a fight a little bit earlier, maybe on like the Rubik lift into the base or something, they defend that. They were being very greedy, holding their cooldowns and waiting for like the Zeus to initiate on, or the Zeus to do damage to them. But as a result, like the Ursa gets a jump and picks somebody off right at the start.
Ah, the ward timed out. They didn't get the bounty.
No. Okay, Cyclops.
And they are about to push the high ground.
That's okay. I'll take that part.
Have a lead question. Come on. What do you want to
Okay.
know?
Tell me a moment in your life that made you a better person.
Oh.
I'm
Gonna
not
be, like, so
gonna.
emotional.
Really? Okay. Just
Wait.
slowly tell it to us and you can finish after.
Yeah, maybe a better person. That moment. It's kind of hard to find.
just pick one. It doesn't have to be the best one. Maybe the one you remember the most.
When I realized that karma is real. Yeah, because Whoa, well.
Calm down. Just tears
Just
through.
keep going.
You realize what is real?
Well, I'm a
Karma is real.
Karma.
Oh,
is real.
karma, okay.
Yeah. But at first, it says I thought like, oh, we can do whatever we want, you know. Like for example, like I have to talk bad with another friend, on another friend with another guy, and then after that, it just come back to me. That bad words just go to the other guy. Yeah, and he knows, and we will never talk to each other again. And on that day, I realized that okay, what goes around comes around is actually real. So I stopped doing that. It was like, yeah.
Was he a bad guy though, or were you just saying something kind of
I believe
harmless?
in boomerang. When you, for example, you see a car, hey man, let's just cut off his the paint of his car. Nobody sees it, but at someday there will be an event related to you. Maybe you have a car accident or something, but it will eventually come back to you.
Man, this has been gotten deep, man.
Well, that is.
You gotta learn about Xyclopzz.
Initiation,
Yeah,
Abyssal Blade straight onto him, but the Nightmare will save him just for a moment. 50 seconds without a Necrophos. Stolen Mana Burn was not what Vlasil was looking for, as Undying will die as well. He is not level 15 to take that Tombstone on Death talent either. He's level 10. Light Strike Allay into the Telekinesis. And the Fiend's Grip on Spectre, unfortunately no damage. Ursa will die to the Zeus, but Spectre will die elsewhere.
94 seconds. All right.
The Carapace to finish off the Rubik, and it is looking like it is curtains for EVOS Gaming.
This is so forceful. Like they didn't even care that Evo was ready or not. It's just gonna go in like that, even though it's tight and whatever. You know, because it's kind of hard. Evo got a very dangerous, all the global spells, but yeah, because of their power, they just go in like that. Nice catching, started off, always good. Open initiation by that Ursa warrior, pick the right target, even though he sacrificed himself, but it's kind of worth it.
Yeah, straight Abyssal Blade purchase, I definitely respect off the Raven Ursa.
People love going for that these days. It just makes the initiation so guaranteed to kill one person.
Yeah, because like a lot of times I feel people justify, be like, oh well, I can get the Vanguard, I guess, but there's like no physical damage on the side of EVOS, and he still went straight Abyssal.
Yeah. It's just all about that instant pick-off.
Yeah. Which is why Sheepstick Ursa used to be such a big thing, but now it costs like 200 mana.
At Sid's point, I can feel that Spectre. He feels like he's carrying the game alone because, you know, yeah, if you take a look at these. He's the only guy who can stand in front. Well, Necrophos can buy some time to go around a little bit, but if you have only one front liner, it'll be hard for you.
I feel like this game has just been Lotac playing really, really well in terms of understanding that they're against a much stronger late game lineup and applying a massive amount of pressure. Like they're constantly on the aggressive, looking to initiate, looking to like dive base. Like they're not just. If you play clean, disciplined Dota in a game like this, you just lose. Like you have to dive, you have to like overcommit to fights. You know, to
Ohio about to walk into 4 Dire Heroes. He gets Telekinesis down to the low ground, activates BKB before the Scythe comes out. Have we seen a single Scythe kill a target? I think not. Unlike me, I get my X-Torn combinations every time.
And that wasn't even the first time they pop up the Black King bar. His Black King bar was down to 6 seconds. I think Necrophos was supposed to know that if he do that, this will happen.
The third Roshan of the match looks like it will be going to Lotac.
Every single time he's scything, and it's just
31K.
blocked.
Refresher or Shard goes to the Lina, the Cheese goes to the Leshrac. No, perhaps that was not accurate. Where is the Cheese? It is on Raven, and the Aegis has gone to Leshrac.
Oh, look at the odds.
10.8.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like the odds are probably better than that. I mean, it's a Spectre Zeus.
Yeah. It's one Rex. Oh, Jesus. Ohio jumps in with an expanded Shiva's God.
Oh, no.
Laguna Blade instantly executes the Spectre.
It is so easy
Fiend's
to
Grip
focus.
onto the Nyx Assassin. He's taking quite a bit of damage, but the Nightmare prevents the Necrophos from finishing off the Nyx. Aegis is reclaimed, but Tron, artillery damage. LSA and Dragon Slave to finish off the Rubik. He buys back immediately. Ohio coming in with the Diabolic Edict. Does not have level 25 yet, but he's very close at level 23. And now almost level 24.
It is so easy to focus.
Another Blink Abyssal instantly! BKB activated! But does not finish off the Rubik, who would have been a dieback. Another bunch of mana burned off of the Necrophos. Curse that dastardly Nyx. Carapace, but he vendettas away. And a Glimmer Cape. There are so many sentry wards, but he manages to just skirt by.
Bro, do you know, it's actually started to grow into me.
Yeah, you like it?
I like it. I started to like it already.
Wow. I gotta start. Maybe I'll just make it my main thing.
36k, still any way to come back on this situation.
It's 2 Raxes. How much do you think that increases the odds?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a 20 to 1 right now.
1 Rax is worth 10 to 1, alright.
I'm pretty sure it's 15,
Or
not
2 to
20
1.
yet. Not
Maybe.
20 yet. 15.
Megas will be 20.
I think 50k will be 20.
They'll get there soon. At this rate.
I mean, they're running out of buildings though, so I don't know where they're going to get most of the gold from.
Lack of space, lack of farm, lack of visions. This game, whatever could go bad, just go bad for Team EVOS.
Ohio's almost level 25, I imagine. There's no does anyone take the Lightning Storm slow duration? 3 seconds Lightning Storm duration versus 50 Diabolic Edict explosions.
It's pretty good, actually.
Really?
If you get the Ags, you get the Lightning Storm
But
every...
but it doesn't chain on the Ags. It's one target.
Yeah, but you still can walk next to somebody and they stay permanently slowed.
Or you can walk next to someone with 50 Diabolic explosions.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. There are games where it's pretty good, though.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it depends. If you don't need the sieging.
I would like to see it.
I have a feeling that if EVOS changed their mid lane, that the game would have been better than this. Yeah,
I think they needed to change everything.
because it's the kind of hero that can... You lane in mid lane, you face Invoker, you lose anyway. He lose so many heroes in the middle lane, and yeah, once you are behind, then you're
You mean
under level.
the player?
No, I mean the heroes.
The Zeus.
Yeah.
You don't want Zeus in the mid lane. I feel like they could have just played the lanes better. I don't see why they lost all the lanes so horribly. Like the Necro lane should not have gone.
Yeah. That Ursa got way more. Like the Abyssal Blade should have been like at least like 7 minutes later than it ended up being.
I mean, Necro's like pretty good against Ursa. You just go 2 points in Ghost Shroud.
Well, I think we need to also consider maybe there's a bit of a skill gap between EVOS and Lotac.
Another initiation by Ohio straight onto Avile. BKB activated, so he's not going to scythe that one. That much he knows. Telekinesis onto the Ursa, drags him back. No, it doesn't. The Impale cancels it, but a Nightmare cancels the scythe. And the Impale Nightmare goes onto the Necrophos instead. He is dead. He buys back immediately, but what does he have to contribute? There is no ultimate. Laguna Blade stolen by Rubik, and the incoming Spectre, but the Laguna Blade finishes off the Bane. Nyx Assassin, the last man standing, will die in the end, but it costs 2 buybacks.
Wow, this is something interesting.
40k.
You got no time.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Leading patient.
Another initiation by Ohio. He loves this combination, and it works. He finishes off the Undying. Another Pulse Nova to do a bunch of damage, but he's taking a lot of damage himself. Abyssal Blade into the Carapace, stolen by Rubik. Fiend's Grip onto the Spectre. He's cutting him down by the Ursa, but it's stolen again by Rubik. Down goes the Ursa, but down goes the Spectre. Spectre has buyback available. This Rubik has a freaking Aghanim Scepter. I never noticed this. I never click on items. I'm a kunka.
No wonder he's stealing all these spells. Holy crap.
1 Rax remains.
When did he get all the farm though? I didn't even notice.
I think
He
it's
stole
'cause
it
he
from
survived.
Spectre's face. And that's why Spectre's so underfarmed. Nightmare onto her, into the LS save. Plucked up the telekinesis and the land distance. How high level is this? Rubik is 21. He steals the Impale. Gets it onto the Assassin. 2-man LSA connects, but
way.
there's so much HP.
Too much.
The freaking Vlaiku, man, just stealing everything.
1 Rax remains.
Raven
Okay.
coming in with a double damage.
And he has 50 Diabolic explosions. Explosions everywhere. The Rax is taking too much damage. Down it goes. It's Mega Creep time. Nightmare again onto the Spectre. But they're finishing off Chuan. He's trying to escape. He has so much move speed with his BOTs and Yule Scepter and 3 Fiery Soul stacks. Will he cast another spell? Yes, he will. Faster I go. Get away from me, Spectre. You bitch. I don't want to fight you. But down goes the Radiance damage. It's too much. Nightmare to slow down any more aggression. And Spectre will go to sleep.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
I like that. You know, I told you that you started to grow in me. I love it. Yeah, I think you
Cyclops, stop running away from your responsibilities.
Come in. Give
What
me
do
the
you want to
leading
ask?
questions.
Is there anything you want to ask, Wizard?
What was your dog's name? The dog that got
No,
lost.
come on, do
needs to be a
better
story.
than
Well,
that.
I'm
What
not
was
gonna
your
tell you
what was your
dog names.
first what was your first kiss? What was your first
dad's
kiss?
dog,
First
dead dog's
kiss.
name?
First kiss?
Yeah.
Do you have any recurring dreams?
No, you any?
I'm asking Tsunami can ask.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
I've
My
been
first
vetoed.
kiss was
Oh, you sound
What?
excited to tell this story.
when I was quite young. I was around like 16, 17,
Your
and,
uncle?
and it was with the girl. The
Whoa!
Whoa,
Whoa! No way!
No,
I wouldn't have expected that
It
one.
was with the older girl.
Oh!
Like, she was like 23
Your
or
grandma,
something.
your
What?
grandma doesn't
Okay.
count,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
23?
Yeah.
So
it
she was like
she
in
was-
college?
16,
Yeah,
23.
Just
That's
graduated
not.
something.
That's
Okay,
not legal.
okay.
I don't know if I
I
would
don't
continue
think
this
that's
story.
legal.
Yeah, it's
Not
Thailand.
bad,
Anything goes in
right?
Thailand.
Well,
Sure, I guess.
I can tell you guys that she actually taught me to do so.
What?
Oh wow!
Not bad.
Oh,
is
this
it?
is-
Well, master.
This is getting dark, dude.
Yeah. I
What
mean, we're in the dark
player?
ages
Why?
here.
Oh my
Cyclops.
God, I guess they didn't have
You
ages
dog.
of consent back in the day.
Alright.
God damn. Okay, you had some brutal stuff. First your dog and your parents were lying to you, and then
Life's hard, man. And you said your life was hard. Jesus.
I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
easy.
IQ on US East all day, man. What can I say?
When this game, just come on, man. You know. Oh, and now he got a cooldown ready.
It's always going to be off cooldown. Stop looking at it.
But do you think they can actually defend all these mega creeps? Look at the heroes; they
Yeah,
are
they're
not
not
born
great.
to defend.
They're doing awful.
You need like. Spectre's going for a heart, but you need like some maelstroms or something.
At least
Holy
Zeus is good at
K.
this point in the game. Percentage damage versus the megas.
Yeah.
You're solid. If
He
you
doesn't
do
have
this,
enough
dude.
mana regen though, so if he's like clearing out waves and then a team fight starts, he's like, wait guys, I need a fairy and a clarity first.
Thank God for that bottle.
Yeah.
Also, thank God for the fact that he's stuck in his base, so he's 2 feet away from the fountain
True.
at all points.
He can
Yep.
force Steph into it.
Yeah,
I've just-
exactly.
Honestly, I've just been watching him. He like clears a creep wave, then goes back to fountain straight away.
Yeah.
It's such a
That's
rough-
his life.
You should just have clarities on him constantly.
I don't think you want to be spending clarities because he's trying to get refresher orb.
Yeah.
He's getting pretty close too.
He is pretty close. Yeah, I don't think buyback is that important on him.
Yeah, if he's dead, he's dead.
No,
Look
no,
at-
don't let the siege creeps get close.
Look at that aggressive null field.
I don't think he's turned to defensive like a single time this game.
I mean, he's turning into a carry with that Ags, okay?
Yeah.
He's done some really good stuff. He's dealing like all the necessary
He
spells.
gets the range on the Nyx Impale too, I'm pretty sure, with the Ags.
Oh yeah, if you hover over it, observer, go to the Rubik. Hover over. You gotta go to the Rubik though.
It's so easy for Lotac right now. They just
Now
have
hover
to.
over it. The impale.
Impale, not there.
Yeah.
Man.
Wait, 14-second cooldown. Never mind.
That's the money.
Yeah, Lotac just have to act like a parent. Send kids to school. Kids in this case, the creeps. Okay, you make sure that your kids go to school, and if there is something happen in
That's
schools,
dark.
and then your parents be like, goes in and trying to who do this to my child. Yeah, just make sure that you send kids to school and don't just skip it. Make sure it pushed all the time.
They sent him to Mega Creep School, and now the parents are on vacation in the Roche Pit.
Okay.
Oh, God.
The Refresher Shard going to be going to the...
Aegis on the cheese,
No
refresh
one?
your chart.
Ursa takes the
Wow.
Aegis and the Refresher. Cheese goes to
See,
Alina.
At this point, what I would recommend
No,
for
wait,
Lotac
goes
is
to-
to just deny every single thing that drops from Roche, just to ruin the morale of EVOS for the next game.
Yeah,
'cause
sell it. Remember? You guys were talking about selling
You
the
could sell
Refresher
it.
Shard and the Cheese.
You could, you
No,
could.
that's not. Just don't
Hey,
do that.
goddamn, Ohio continues the initiation with a Blink Dagger into Shiva's telekinesis land. Closer, use your Edict explosions on my Ancient. I love it. The Piper does nothing. Abyssal Blade finishes off the Avile. A Laguna Blade does a fair amount of damage onto the Spectre. She's dead for 2 minutes. It's looking like it's all over. Raven finishing off the Tombstone does 200 gold. The Fiend's Grip, down goes the Rubik, and it's GG. The game is good.
The fight
is
of the
great.
parents. Good.
I don't understand this whole parents thing. I don't want to though.
Alright.
I've come
Finally,
to
you
talk
did your
with you
job.
again.
Well, welcome back, everyone.
I think that was a good example of when the balls to the wall Southeast Asian Dota is actually the style that you have to play to win the game. I think if you play against this EVOS lineup and you don't pressure at every single possibility that you get, you will actually just lose 1 or 2 fights and then lose the game because they have far superior late game.
Yes.
I really like that they were instantly buying back, and I know I was criticizing this in every single other game. I think this is the game where you have to do it. Ursa does not scale well into the late game if you're not just killing people in one hit.
Yeah, I fully understand what you say because it's really fragile. No matter how far you are so ahead, the grass can break anytime. You know, lose one team fight, that Spectre get triple kill, and that's it.
Right, yeah, you're done. The Zeus too, if any of these heroes survive at the end of the fight, they just get so many items, and then the next time the fight's even harder. And then a triple kill turns into an ultra kill, and then all of a sudden you're losing, even though you have a 10k advantage. The thing with these Zeus and Spectre is, like, sure, Spectre needs some farm, but Zeus really just needs some levels, and he'll do a lot of damage. So the net worth looked bad, but it's always so deceptive when you're fighting into a Zeus Spectre. And then an Necro too. The sights were terrible. Like, honestly, the sights were
They were botched every time, but
there was also good
say,
play from Lotac. Like,
yeah, nightmares left and
nightmares,
right.
BKBs.
Activations.
You just need to have more respect for the fact that they can do that and maybe combo people a little better. Maybe you go on the Bane instead, so you know that he can't nightmare. It's pretty annoying playing Necro versus Bane. I've done that in a lot of pubs.
Might see teams start picking that Bane against Necros, because Necros always get picked up really early. You know, first two.
Yeah. I see why they picked the Nyx too. They just max the mana burn and just constantly mana burn the Necro. And he just doesn't have enough mana for the Scythe because it costs so much mana. So it's like, sure, he can use the Pulse, but can't use the Scythe. But I think that wasn't even EVOS playing. Other than, you know, maybe the lane shouldn't have gone so poorly. Like you said, there's a bit of a skill difference, it seems. But even then, like, they could come back into the game with this sort of lineup. But Lotac just played really, really well.
Well, shout out to at least Vlaiku on EVOS, because that Rubik
that
was
was
pretty
sick.
sick.
That was sick.
He got Ags. I mean, he was probably pretty happy. He was like, guys, we're probably going to lose anyway, but I'm going to try and practice my Rubik's Ags.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun. He was higher level than the Necro. He was like 3 levels above him or something.
He was, yeah. Rubik ended at 22.
I mean, Necro always died first. Let's be real. He was always like trying to go for Reaper Scythe, and then boom, he's dead.
Yeah.
So he actually he mental damage because of the plays of Yamate so many times. We can't forget about this, how the Spain positioning and the timing of his using spells. The most important thing is he was always in a spot that he can help every single one of team Lotac, no matter who. You know, I feels like Yamate is, for me, is actually the MVP on this one, right from the start, getting good control in the lane, and yeah. So many times that he destroyed Evil.
Well, let's see if EVOS can bring it back in Game 2 versus Lotac, or if they'll run away with the series. We'll be right back after a quick break.